All right, everybody. I'm headed to VA. I figured somebody might want to ride along. I didn't see nobody active or anything. And I posted the thing there to join or whatever if anybody wants to do something like that. I'm feeling a little better, but I'm not going to say I feel 100% great by any measures. But I got to go pick some medicine up at the VA today that I was headed to get the other day. Oh, goodness. We're going to be driving here directly. And my first Red Bull of the day, 2 days almost. No, I had an 8 ouncer this morning. My bad. Someone's cat has been crawling on my window. Oh, shoot. There we go. I'll tell you what, I feel worse. I got out here in the car, actually. But at least I'm not throwing up or anything anymore. That's a plus. Yeah, it's warm enough here to fish, dude. It's real windy, though. You can see them bushes over there blowing. If anybody wants to come up or whatever, the thing's up at the top. I can't post it while I'm driving. I think what else I need to do before I start to driving. I need to stop by the credit union and cash a check. Yeah, Brandon, Christmas was all right. We don't really do much at my house anymore since my brother passed away about, I don't know, 12, 14 years ago. But we always done Christmas at his house. He had like this log home out in the country. It was like a postcard, man. And we would always go there, the family. And after he passed away, it's just never been the same. No. I was going to go to my son's, but I felt bad leaving my parents at home because they don't, it's about an hour drive and they don't travel real well now. So I just, hung around the house. And Christmas is about Jesus anyway. So that's what I thought about most of the day. Rustic, if you ain't doing nothing, brother, the log, or what you call it, link things up there at the top of the chat. Come on up if you want to. I'll be driving. Popo man, wonder what he's doing. Whatever it is, I hope it don't involve me. I ain't got time for none of that stuff today. I get in his car and breathe on him though, and he'll know I've been there. He'll be sick in about 2 days. He'll think, man, I shouldn't have pulled that guy over. Camera's kind of bouncy today, isn't it? I have to adjust it. Guess that's stuff y'all do before you drive. Hi, Miss Becca. I seen you come in there, honey. How are you today? When are you gonna get the moving done so I can come down visit you? There's somebody in the thing. Hold on. There you go. Let's see. Add the stream. Is that how it works? Let's see. Add the stream. Are you in there now? Okay. I
Hey,
did. There we go. Hey, how you doing, man? I
um,
appreciate you coming up here.
oh yeah, Buck man. Uh, yeah, I just got off video call with my doctor. They ordered me some medicines and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got real bad
I've done a
interface.
lot of that. Oh, I've done a lot of the video call stuff during COVID. I kind of liked it, especially the VA place where I'm going today. It's about a 45-minute drive or so, and I didn't have to drive. They just, get with me on my computer or whatever. But my regular doctor, there's a VA doctor office place here in town that I go, that my regular doctor's at. The one in Marion, it's a VA hospital. It's a different kind of doctor, people.
Yeah,
And
more Eric. Eric said any good medicine. I'm just getting antibiotics.
that's what I need. They,
Try to get rid of this real bad ear infection and my chest congestion. If I get rid of those, I'll be golden. I mean, I'll be good as.
yeah,
Man.
they built a brand new VA doctor's office here in town the year COVID did, and nobody actually got to use it for the first 2 years. It's
Yeah,
just now open where you can actually go in and see someone. You could go into the lab and give blood and stuff, but as far as doctor's appointments went, you pretty much done it online.
yeah. Morning, Miss Emily.
Hi, Emily. How are you today, honey?
Hey, how's Pops doing?
He's all right, man. I'll tell you why. His dementia's getting worse quick. Yesterday, he was trying to put his T-shirt on for his britches, and it's actually worrying me a lot, to be honest with you. I mean, it seems to be progressing real quick for some reason. I don't know if that cancer has something to do with it or what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate to hear that.
Yeah,
I know, here yesterday or the day before yesterday when you wasn't feeling too well, he come in and check on you, and that was awesome.
yeah, yeah. He was trying his hardest to do something for me yesterday, and I'm like, Pop, I'm all right. Well, you gotta let me do something. I'm like, no, it's all right, Pop. Don't worry about it. I'm not one lets anybody do anything for him anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's just how I am. It's like fixing a glass of pop, something as simple as that. Well, I like mine a certain way when I put ice and stuff in it. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, yep,
It sounds stupid, but I know how I like it, so I just soon do it myself. But I can see if the cancer's, if he's still around this time next year, we'll have to put him in a nursing home. There's no doubt in my mind.
yeah,
I mean, that'll kill mom, but it's getting to the point. If I hear him up at night, I get up, see what he's doing, because you just never know.
yeah. Hey, where'd you get that phone holder you got right there on the windshield?
Uh, Amazon, I'll get you a link and I'll send it to you here when I get home.
Does it stand out there pretty good?
Yeah, it seems to all right. It's been up there for a year or so now.
Yeah, yeah. If you got a link to that, I've been trying to find a good one to put on
Yep.
my old fishing bait now.
The key to them is I take like them eyeglass cleaning little towelettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, I clean the window and the rubber part before I stick it on there.
yeah,
That makes them stay on a lot longer.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
it will come off sometimes in the summer. If it's 90 degrees out and the car's closed, I come in. Sometimes it'll be off.
Yeah, I got this one right here, and it'll stick. And sometimes you'll put your phone on it, don't have no problems. And one time you put your phone on it, and all of a sudden it starts peeling. Oh,
Yep.
it come right off.
Yeah. The key to that is, like I said, you got to clean that. Even if you just use a washcloth with some alcohol.
Morning, Keith, DOC. What's going on, Doc?
Hey, Doc, how are you, buddy? I appreciate y'all coming in while I'm driving. It sure makes the trip better. I didn't bring me no candy. That's going to make for a long trip.
Yeah, if you want to give yourself a solo layout, you can put me in the background.
I that's too much. That's way too technical for me, man. I forgot I gotta stop by the credit union and cash a couple checks.
Yeah, all you gotta do is touch your screen and hit solo layout. Touch yourself.
It's good like this, man. Your pretty face. I just like to sit around and look at you, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll make you run to the doctor faster.
Hey, are you going down to that fishing thing they're having?
We're at
Oh,
down in Baldwin.
yeah.
No, I was going to go, but I'm not now.
I looked into it. I talked to the guy that has the hotel kind of close to there, and I was going to get a room, but after getting sick, it's like, nope. That
Yeah.
it probably weather-wise, at least it's not going to be cold. It don't look like.
Hey, morning, Alvin. Morning, Mona.
Hey, morning.
Alvin Lewis come in. Mona did what? Come in.
I appreciate y'all stopping in and enjoying my drive to the doctor, but we're going to detour over here by the credit union real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not going to go, man. I'm not going to be out there. It's supposed to be high winds, and
Oh,
it's
is it?
supposed to be that cold, but it's supposed to rain, and I don't see
Oh,
myself.
yeah.
But
And that place is out. I mean, it's wide open. I imagine the wind howls through there.
oh yeah, and plus not only that, I mean it's a good group of people and good fishing is going to be up there if they go, and I hope they can. But with me being congested, I've been trying to stay out of this damp weather as much as I can.
Me too, brother. I'm with you. I had to kind of get on mom's morning because she gets to loading stuff on me she needs done or whatever. And I'm like, Mom, I love you and everything, but I said I feel better. I didn't say I feel great. you know, can we maybe talk about this tomorrow?
Well, it's like I was feeling fine. I got over the COVID. I was doing perfect, and we went to Branson and we was at Silver Dollar City and we was there like 10:30 that night, and a lot of moisture was in the air, and I knew what was going to happen. I got congested real bad, and because it does it every time. That's why I don't like staying out at nighttime when it's near the winter.
Yep.
Morning, Uncle Don.
Well, I jinxed myself. Me and Dad was talking, and yeah, I need to cash these checks for my mother, please. Joyce Wedmore. There you go. I'm Brian. I'm on her account also.
Don said, "Good morning, Buckman."
Hey, Don, how are you, buddy? How you been? You feeling all right?
Hey, there's Fresno's in the
Oh,
house.
I don't know, ma'am. You'll have to look it up. It's under Joyce from Jack Wedmore. I apologize. Just whatever is fine. Yeah, it's just money she wants to keep around the house. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, CVA's come in. Joy Stewart. Hey, Joy. Good morning.
Oh, everybody. It's really nice to have y'all cruise along with me going to the doctor
Yep.
via credit union.
Yeah, I had the choice of going to see my doctor or having them video conference me, so I had them just do that. That was at 9 o'clock. So
Oh, yeah. Any day.
yeah,
Yep. I'm
she
with you.
did pretty good, and I could tell her what's wrong, and it's basically the same thing all the time. I don't know why. I keep ear infections real bad. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. I had my best friend was like that. His whole life he'd been like that. And we was on the swimming team. And it was horrible for him because he'd get them during swimming season.
Yeah. Well, my grandson's he's the same way. He gets ear infections real bad too.
I ain't gonna say it. I jinxed myself. I'll have one next week because me and Dad was coming back from the doctor last Thursday, I think it was, and we was talking about that flu going around and everything, and I was like, I don't ever remember having the flu. I said, and I don't remember I haven't been sick for over 20 years probably. Sure enough, I get sick. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
are you? So I ain't gonna say nothing about ear infections. I'll end up with one.
Back when I was younger, I drank all the time, and most time I drank a lot of whiskey and stuff, and never did get sick. I don't remember a day being sick. When I quit
Yep.
drinking, it's when it's like, well, I get sick all the time. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, quit
Well, I
running that
remember.
through your
You
system.
know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, quit running that alcohol through your system, killing everything.
Exactly. You ever notice that people drink a lot? They don't. I got a friend of my family's guy's worth a ton of money, but all he does is drink every day. He's retired now.
Yeah.
Got this beautiful log home on about a 5-acre lake, surrounded by woods. You can't even see it from the street or nothing. And he sits around drunk every day, and
Wow.
nothing ever happens. Guy never gets sick. Nothing ever happens to him. And he was an orphan. Grew up in the Knightstown Children's Home. Him and his two brothers, and all three of them was wealthy. And he he's the last one left.
Joy,
That was Grandpa. Uh-huh. I think that was the last like dividend check or something from, I forget, a cooperative or something they said. I have no idea. Mom was talking about it this morning. I wouldn't think so. I don't know. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll tell Mom. I had no idea. I seen it too, and she said that there was a cooperative or something he belonged to in Florida, and I think that was the last dividend check they sent or something like that. Oh, it's not that big a deal. It's $59 to be honest with you. Yeah, it's not that big a deal to me.
yeah, it's 11 days till Emily's birthday.
Oh yeah? How old you gonna be?
She'll be 18. Yep. Joy said, talk about her VA around there. You'd have a lot of
I
very
see that.
words.
Man, I may just be lucky or something, but I've had the best treatment. I had some colon issues about 8 years ago or so. I almost died actually in the VA in Indianapolis, which is connected to the IU Medical College. It's the
Yeah.
best treatment. I've got nothing but great treatment from the VA here. So I can't complain really. But now sometimes you got to be a little persistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't always take no for an answer, and sometimes you gotta, I don't know how to say it, but I'm not real good at taking no or can't for an answer. You know what I mean? Those two words aren't in my vocabulary when it comes to doing something. And
They ain't in mine either, because whenever I said those words to my stepdad, he'd beat me.
yeah, well, I hate someone that says, like, for instance, if you're at a business or something and they'll say, well, I can't do that. And I always counter with, no, wait a minute, you can't do it or you don't want to do it. There's two different things.
Yeah.
No worries. Thank you very much. Yeah, yes, you also. There we go. Hold on, I'm reaching. It's the curse of being short. I noticed that. Thank you, guys. But I don't know. I don't think the word can't exist in my vocabulary. I had one of them three orphans I was talking about owned a machine shop. And I'm telling you, there's literally nothing this guy couldn't make. I don't care. You name it, he'd make it. One of the other brothers owned a company that prints the tickets, like the little tickets you pay and they give you a ticket at a basketball game or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they also printed these little pull tab jobbies that were in bars for gambling. They were illegal as all get out, but back then they're not now. Well, they'd run these things through the machine, okay, and it would cut them. Well, every so many that went through, they'd lost X amount of paper, right?
Yeah.
And when you added it up over, say, 20 years or whatever, it was quite a bit. And the guy that owned the ticket place and his brother owned the machine shop, they got together and they designed and built and patented their own cutting machine for cutting paper, and then sold it to the company that the guy owned.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, there just wasn't nothing he couldn't make. He's guy done all my dirt bike motors and stuff. He back in the day, in the 70s going into 80s, there was a lot of technological advancements in dirt bikes. And he would make things, that didn't exist for a dirt bike. For instance, if you wanted more travel he would make his own swing arms and extend the amount of travel that you got in the rear end and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and those were just kind of people I was raised around. There wasn't no such word as you can't do it. It was like, now we may have to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as being able to do it, we'll get it done somehow.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna go get coffee, man.
throw nothing away neither. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got me in the bad habit. I'm driving along, I see a boulder or something on the side of the road, I'll stop and pick it up. You know what I mean? I got a whole, one of them things with the little drawers, you know what I mean? Full of nuts and bolts and washers and crap that I've picked up over the years.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get me a cup of coffee.
Okay, brother. But you never know when you're going to need a bolt, a nut, or a washer or something. Instead of having to go to the hardware store, I can dig through the drawers and get them. Hold on, Joy. I'm going to scroll back and read this, honey, while I'm driving. I hope I don't have a wreck. I can't see what it says. I better not do that. That's a really bad idea. Oh, really, Joy? I know what you're talking about on that. When they were talking about, universal health care and all that stuff, that was one of the points a guy was arguing, is that they would have committees, and based on your age, they determine on whether you got a procedure or not. And the reason it stuck out to me, my grandma, when she was 98, she had a heart attack. And we're in the emergency room and she'd laying there awake. And the doctor, it appears she's had a heart attack, the kind that they typically call a widowmaker, blah, blah, blah. And he was acting like they wasn't going to do nothing. And I'm like, so are you telling me you're going to let her lay there and die when she's sitting here talking to me? I was like, I don't think so. And because this lady took no medicine, 98 years old, was healthier than me. And they ended up doing the surgery and putting a stent in. And she was home in 2 days. Now, had they had universal health care, which is like what you're talking about, they would have had a committee that would have said, nope, she's too old, we can't do the procedure, and they'd have just let her die. So I know exactly what the kind of thing you're talking about is. And it's BS. Where grandma, she lived up until 3 months ago, or not even that, 2 months ago. She'd have been 103 in December and died in November, come think of it. So it ain't been that long ago after all.
Hey, good morning, Drunken Chef.
Drunken Chef BBQ. He's one of them guys I want to come down and meet so I can eat, because I like to eat. And my cooking's horrible, so I don't get good food very often.
Oh yeah, could you imagine? I guarantee you wouldn't leave hungry.
Oh no, I park my truck out back, put my easy up, make my bed in the back of the SUV, and say, "You tell me when you're tired of seeing me. I'm headed to the house." Then
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna the meet up down there in Tennessee. Last year I had a campsite, and then stuff happened with Pop, and I couldn't go, so I had to cancel the campsite. So I didn't get one this year. But I think if Pop's okay, and I can get away, that you can have 2 vehicles per camp spot. I'm gonna find somebody that's got a camp spot. Say, hey man, just let me park my SUV there. I sleep in it. I don't have to set a tent or nothing up. You know what I mean? Won't take no room.
Yeah.
I'd really like to go down and do that.
Well, it's like me. If I go, I'll just take my old fishing van and rent a campsite, and I could put a little blow up mattress in there. I carry cooler, got sodas, drinks, food in it.
Yep.
Carry
That's why I used to always have a Chevy Blazer, the small ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And That way, when I raced dirt bikes, I could pull a trailer to the race, and then I'd unhook the trailer and set my easy up and back my SUV up to the edge of the easy up, and I popped the hatch. And I had two sides for the easy up, and it make like a almost like a tent camper thing. And
All right,
that's
Joey,
what I
back.
taught camp.
Hey, Catfish Regulator says, what you going to do in VA? Indiana
Just
Chris?
kind of pick some medicine up. Hey, Chris, how are you? I keep hitting buttons, man. If you get kicked out or something, I'm sorry. I got fat hands or something. Trying to scroll up through the chat so I can see it.
Yeah, I'll read it out for you.
But I always, for probably the last 20 years, I'd say I've had an SUV just so I could use it to go dirt bike racing. And that way, if it rains, I'm not getting wet.
Well,
I don't like sleeping in a tent raining.
Well, yeah, it's like what I like about my old fishing van is that I can unhook the battery cable off the battery when I raise the back hatch up, and I can set up under that, have shade, be out of the rain.
Yep. Now, I took a motorcycle trip on my 84 Moto Guzzi. Oh, it's been 6-8 years ago, probably. And I was going to go up through Michigan and over to UP and back down through Wisconsin. And I spent probably a year prepping for that and researching it. And I was researching tents. I didn't want a great big tent, because I had to haul it on the bike. Well, I ended up buying this tent. And I was camping one night. In this storm, I was probably a mile from the shore of Lake Michigan. And this storm come up, and it blew and rained so freaking hard you couldn't see for almost 2 hours. And not a drop of water got in that tent or on me or my clothes or anything.
Yep.
And it's the only tent I
Yep.
had in my life that I never got wet when it rained.
Yep. Catfish Regulators come in.
Hey, Catfish Greg, how are you, buddy? Seen you just put on Dog Legs thing. Now, I paid a lot of money for that tent, don't get me wrong, but when I was sitting there in that storm that night, I was glad I did. Because I had nowhere to go. I'm on a motorcycle, you know what I mean? I didn't have a car to go sit in or anything to, ride that storm out.
Yeah, that's why I like to say, like a fishing van, I can just put a little blow-up mattress in there.
Yeah.
Just crawl right up and go to sleep. I do that sometimes when I go to Kentucky if the skipjack are biting good.
Yep.
And I just fish through the night. I get tired, go up there and lay down, go to sleep, wake up next morning, go back fishing again.
Well, I tell you what, I got these little pads for sleeping on, and you unroll them and you open this air valve, right? And it's got like almost like memory foam stuff in it. Well, when you open it up, it goes from about a 1/4 inch thick to 3 inches thick. You got to let it sit for about an hour, and then you screw the cap back in.
Yep.
And I bought 2 of them, and I'm telling you, dude, these things are unbelievable how comfortable they are.
Yep. Danny Stone said, headed to the river, going to get some fresh bait and throw out some rods.
Danny, will you go live? I'll stop this and head over to your live if I'm still driving, buddy. Just let me know when. Because I'll just come up on yours. It'd be a lot easier on me. I'd be less tempted to hit buttons while I'm driving.
Yeah, I was going to go fishing yesterday, but them high winds kind of kept me from going. I said, I'm not going out there with my ear fishing, have that wind blowing in my ear. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, the wind's blowing here real bad right now, and being sick, I would like to go, but I just have to go carp fishing. I can't get to a river or nothing.
Yeah.
I was going to get with J-Dog this weekend and go, but I've been sick, so I can't do that because we talked back and forth on text about it maybe.
Yeah.
I had a good time that day. Me, him, and Eric and Curtis went. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. We didn't catch a whole bunch of fish, but, we caught enough to make it a fishing trip anyway.
Yeah. Danny said it shouldn't be too long. He must be getting close to getting there. Hey, Backlash said good morning.
So I can pull over and switch everything over.
Yeah. Don R said, Rusty, I would love to go fishing with you, but I don't know about sleeping in the van with you. Hey, I don't that's
It'd probably be all right sleeping with him as long as y'all don't have no chili or any beans and cornbread or nothing of that nature.
Eric said, I had a great time. One of my best memories from 2022. Yeah, I checked on J-Dog yesterday and see how his back was doing. He said it was getting a little better.
Yeah, I checked on him too. Day before yesterday or something like that, because someone had said something they hadn't heard from him or seen him on a live. So I better text him, ask him if he needed anything or anything I could do or whatever. That's the best part about this catfish community, man. People will look out for you.
Backlash said, I'll be fishing Sunday and Monday, I hope. Well, until I get these antibiotics run through me and get this chest infection out of here, congestion out of here, and ear infection down. All right. And plus it's supposed to rain next 4 or 5 days. So I'm not gonna get out there a chance to get myself pneumonia because I know what it'll turn into.
Well, I tell you, if I had a place on the river around here to go catfishing, I'd go. But the two places I know of, it's about a 3/4 to a mile walk back into them. And I ain't no way I got the energy to do that. I mean, I could do it on the light with maybe one pole and this little tackle box I got.
Yeah.
And my little cooler or something to set on. But,
it's like me. I got this cart that I can load my fishing stuff on, and I put 6 rod holders on it. And I get out there and use it. And when I stepped outside, I was on Ernie's yesterday. And whenever I left, I checked the weather and I said, whoa, 35 mile an hour gust. I said, I don't know. The wind was only 6 mile an hour is what it said. And I stepped outside that one and I said, nah, I can't afford to get out there and breathe in that moist air. And the next thing you know, I'm in the hospital with pneumonia. I can't do that.
Exactly, with pneumonia. My son got me one of them carts. I'd like to figure out a way to put some fatter wheels on it because the wheels are a little skinny. But I used it last year at Summit Lake. It's a state park here close to me.
I just looked out the window.
It worked real well. I could load everything on.
Yeah, I just looked out the window and I can see that flowering bush tree I got out here. It's moving, but it's not moving bad.
Yeah.
And Danny knows places he can go to get out of that.
I don't know what the wind's blowing, but it's steady. What, this time last winter, 5 days ago, it was 31 or 30 below zero wind chill where I'm at. And now it's 52 degrees.
Same way here. This week it's going to be.
Mother Nature has lost her mind.
Yep.
Hell, me and Mom and Dad was talking. I need to get away, and they want me to take a week and go fishing. And I'm thinking about trying to incorporate that into that Tennessee trip. Go down there to start the week with that, and then maybe I'd like to go fish at the dock there with them guys. Maybe finish up that week doing that or something.
Yeah, Backlash said balloon wheels for like insane at the beach is $200 upgrade to a cart. Yep. Well, I can take my cart I got. I mean, it's got good wheels. They hold 30 pounds of air. They're not real skinny, but I can order the different type of axle for it and put the balloon wheels on it.
So Backlash, you say there's a kit they make that you can put the fat wheels on. I'm going to have to look at that. But heck, my cart didn't cost $200. It's not like one of them Ocean Beach cart jobbies.
No, you see my video of part 2 that I got showing the cart I got? It's I think it's between $120 to $130. The sides and the front, the back end, you can take them off and just leave it flat. That's why I got it, because so that way I can put my big cooler on it when I go to Pickwick to catch skipjack. I can roll the big cooler.
That's cool.
So I don't carry 5
table on one end, and I got a setup that I can hang some rod holders on the other end of it. when I decided this year I'm definitely getting my little boat out. The place where I was catching all the carp this summer, there's catfish in that lake, but you got to get down to the other end by the dam. It's not a regular dam like a big lake that's got a spillway and stuff. It's just a big mound of dirt type dam.
Yeah, Backlash said, yes, sir, from Sea Striker, made in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina.
Okay, Sea Striker, I can remember that. I'll look him up.
Andy, what's for breakfast this morning?
But the guy that owned the bait house there at that reservoir, it used to be at the reservoir. He moved it in town. He told me where to go catfishing at. And he said he's caught, 20 and 30-pound blues and stuff in there.
Yeah.
When I caught that channel cat, I just started fishing. Hadn't been doing this for a month or so. And I caught that channel. It was 10.8 pounds, fluctuating 10.8 to 11. I called it 10.8. Well, at the time, I didn't know that was a good channel cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing these 30-pound blues and everything, and I thought, well, heck, it's a nice fish, but it's just average. Yeah. And especially for a small lake in central Indiana,
Yeah.
And had I known, I'd have took more pictures and stuff of that fish. I just got a little bitty video clip of it, and not a very good one at that.
Yeah. Daddy said that his cart was $350 without the balloon tires.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, when you're going to the ocean, I can see that because you're going to pull them a long ways, too. And I'd say you probably want it as comfortable as you can get it.
Yeah. Indiana Chris said Walmart Harbor Freight. My channel, my screen's jumping. Freight have tires and rims.
Oh, okay. I have to look. That's what I know. My cart, it's perfect except for the wheels are thin. So if you're getting a little bit of sand or mud, they just don't want to roll it. They just want to sink into it. I didn't have the heart because I'd sent my son a screenshot of the one I wanted, for Christmas, and he got that one. It was the next one over from the one I wanted had the fat wheels on it. I didn't say anything because it works fine.
Well, I got I got that wagon cart because I wanted to load my stuff down in it, put my poles, my net in it, so I built the pole holders and mounted them to it, and it turned out real good. And I wanted to pull tight because to me, it's just like I didn't want to have to load that thing down, pick it up, and roll it too. So I said, here, I'll just load that stuff in there and just pull it.
Yep. Now, if I planned on doing more where I had to use my cart, I'd make a lot of modifications to it, but I don't use it that much. I am blessed to be on the planet. We're actually real early, like 4:30 in the morning. Well, heck, I just drive through the grass and unload my stuff, pull my car back up to the lot. And I figured if the game warden said something to me, I'd say, man, you see, because I got one knee replacement and the other one needed replaced 10 years ago. I have a little trouble walking and carrying stuff. I'm sorry. I done got a PG rating. I said a bad word. Wait, it's my channel. I say what I want to talk to.
That's right. Yeah, well, this one right here, this one here, I can remove this handle, and I'm going to modify a square tube to where I can hook it up to the back of my mower and use it in the yard if I need to move stuff.
Oh, I got a little where she gets her paint pump put in, I think first week of the new year, which should just change her life a lot. Her back is so bad, her spine's curved. If it wasn't for the medication she takes, she wouldn't be able to get out of bed. And when they done the test to see if the paint pump would work, what they do is they gave her a shot in her back where that paint pump would go, and to see the effect it would have. And it was like a new person. She was like she was 30 years ago. So I'm
Yeah.
real excited for her to get that because she'll feel a lot better. But her eyesight's going down. I'm like, well, that figures.
Yeah, Uncle Don, I could put wheelbarrow wheels on mine. Danny said you can get one just like his, cheaper, but he got the saltwater model because he goes down to Florida, down right at saltwater, so the price is higher on
Yeah,
the saltwater models.
that's something I'd like to do one time too. I ain't never fished in the ocean or even on the beach. I'd like to do that. I'd really like to go out and do like the deep sea fishing stuff. You know what I mean? I think that'd be fun, or like a charter.
Yeah, the only time I fished in the ocean, we went down there 2 years ago, Myrtle Beach, and I fished off the pier. I had a lot of fun. I caught a lot of different species of fish, and I even hung a big shark, but he cut my line and got off.
I know Walter told me to get with him, and he'd cut me a deal on coming down there and with one time. So I'm going to do that. I think he'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. I think he's got some pretty good stories. Probably, I don't even care if we catch fish. I think it'd be fun just being out on the boat. I've been on Lake Okeechobee. That's a big lake, man. But they got
Oh,
snakes and alligators down there, so I ain't gonna mess around too much in Florida.
don't
I
get
don't
too
want to
close to
have
the water with chicken on your hands, huh?
exactly. I don't want to have to be watching back and forth. You know, I got this pistol, Smith and Wesson S&P 380, and the button you use to drop the magazine or the clip, it sticks out so far that if I put it in my shoulder holster, when I go to pull it out, it ejects the clip. So I called Smith and Wesson and talked to them about it, and they said they hadn't had no complaints. I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me, because it
Danny put
sticks out probably a quarter of an inch.
Yeah. Don said his hard water version, and Danny said, Bugman, if you go to the beach, I go I go to you, won't be worried about fishing. Oh, if you go to the beach he goes to, you won't be worried about fishing.
That'll work. I'm ready. Sign me up, coach. So I
Yeah,
got
they're wanting.
online and figured out how to take that magazine release out, and I'm going to take it and file it down. What the heck was that? I'm going to take it and
Yeah,
file
they.
it down today, put it back in there, see what happens.
I think Danny's meaning the bikini fish walking around out there on the beach.
Oh man, that stuff killed me. You know, like they say, Grandpa used to tell me it don't matter where you get your appetite as long as you're eating at the house.
Yeah.
I'm old enough that, it's really humbling. You reach a certain age in life as a man and girls quit looking and it's like, oh man, I'm old now.
Indiana Chris said them girls distract you.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we down here had nude bathers.
Oh, really? You sign me up, coach? I suppose they probably frown on if you have a camera in a place like that, don't they?
Yeah, especially if you just point right at them taking a picture.
You know, hey, do you mind if I snap a picture of your really pretty boobies?
Yeah, we've been going to Myrtle Beach for vacation and stuff for about a week, and uh, so this year they're wanting to go into Florida and go down there to around the tip of Florida, and so they want to. I don't know what they want to do down there, but they keep trying to tell me, well, you can fish in the ocean down there. We'll get us a charter and go out and fish. And I said, well, we'll see about that because that's longer than a 13-hour drive.
Yeah. Are you talking about going to Panhandle or down to the bottom of Florida? I've been to Panhandle a few times. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Where
I don't know. I let them decide. All I do is drive.
exactly. Me and my son used to take off the week after Christmas every year when it was just me and him. We'd go down and stay at a place south of Cocoa Beach called Indy Atlantic, and we'd go down there and surf for a week. Where now I go surfing now, I'd probably have a heart attack and die. I ain't gonna lie, I'm so out of shape. I ain't never been this bad. And I just can't get the motivation enough to do anything about it. That's the bad part. If I was living where my son lives, close to them, I think it'd be a different story. But the town I live in now, Delaware County in Indiana, has one of the most repressed economies and stuff goes. It's just so depressing, the whole area is just a downer. Wow, that semi went off the road and hit a trees right back there. Huh.
When I was
looked like it got a tree about 18 inches in diameter.
Yeah, when I was down at Myrtle Beach, I went fishing with Jamie of Carolina Real Screamers, and we didn't see no gators. But when we left, on the way out, I seen 3 of them on the way out.
You ever seen that video on YouTube? The guy's fishing on a little trail in Florida. It cast out. It's like a little trail through the cattails or whatever, palmettos, and this gator starts coming up towards him and literally chased that path for probably 100 yards.
Huh.
And that pretty much convinced me that I ain't going fishing nowhere in Florida unless I can reach my car in 5 steps.
Yeah, if it chased him, it was probably a female. She had a nest around her somewhere.
This thing was huge. It was a big one. And because the trail kind of went up about 30 yards and made it like a 90-degree angle. So he went up and made the turn and went, maybe 10 yards further and stopped. And he turned around and looked, and sure enough, that gator was coming and made the turn.
Ugh.
So I decided if I was to go to Florida, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get me a 44 or something that I won't have to take more than one shot to stop that gator.
Hey, jump on his back, put a bridle in his mouth, and say, "Take me in my car, James."
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I remember my cousin lived outside of Tampa, and their neighborhood had its own little private airport and stuff, right? It was kind of a neighborhood full of battalion people. They might have flew some illegal stuff in and out of that airport or whatever, but these guys were mafia dudes, man. And this one old boy killed a gator and was cutting the tail up when the DNR guy showed up. And this old boy, he crazy. I mean, he probably kind of guy to shoot you and not think about it, you know what I mean? But he stood there and argued with him and won. He said, "Oh no, it come up in my yard and was getting too close to my kids. I killed it." And the guy's like, "Well, why are you cutting the tail off then?" "Oh, I'm gonna eat that." But yeah, it was an interesting place. I'd go there on the summers, man. I'll tell you. And I was like, my uncle sold Mercedes-Benz. He was part owner of Mercedes-Benz dealership across the road from Tampa Stadium. And about twice a year, he would drive a Mercedes from Florida to New Jersey and drop it off. And I'm thinking, wonder what's in the trunk of that Mercedes and why he have to deliver one from Florida to New Jersey. Don't they sell them there too? So I'm figuring he was making a little money on the side, dropping them off. Because he bought a big old ranch in Georgia, just north of the Florida line there. I think he got 300 or 400 acres of land. He had a safe, had 4 silver bars in it, 1 gold bar. Spent back in the 80s, I'd say. It's late 70s, early 80s. So I imagine that gold bar right now would be worth a whole bunch of money. Danny Stone, you at the river yet?
I don't know. I think he was on his way. He said he's going to stop, try to throw a net, get some fresh bait.
Oh, that's right. He was going to catch some bait, wasn't he? That's on my bucket list this year. I got me a throw net. I'm going to learn to use it. And the biggest part is trying to find somewhere around here to catch some bait at. I mean, there's some creeks by me that got, shiners and suckers and stuff like that in them. But I just don't know where you'd find them at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used to fish in them when I was a kid. That's how I know they got them in there. And they ain't nobody fished in them for 30 years probably.
Huh.
So I imagine they still got to be in there. I would think anyhow. Because I see some people, I seen some videos where like, there'd be a creek out in the county and it'd be a creek, say maybe 10 foot across or whatever, and they'll pull off the bridge and walk down and cast in and catch,
Yeah.
just like that.
He said he's just getting to New Madrid. Won't take long to get bait.
Okay.
It's the spill. I wonder if the spillway's up down there.
Let's see, I'm probably 15 minutes from the VA right now.
I figure the next 30 minutes he'll be live.
Yeah, say, and it's not going to take me 10 minutes to run in, grab my medicine, and run back out. It's my fault. They was going to ship it to me, but I waited too long and procrastinated. And now it's like, well, by the time it gets to me, I'd be out 3 or 4 days. So I had to tell them, well, I'll just come in and pick it up. I race dirt bikes all over this area right here.
Spillway's down. I figured it'd be up when the snow melting off.
Is the Mississippi getting back up to normal now, is it?
I don't know. I haven't been over it.
Yeah, say, I was thinking it was coming up. Last time Danny was there, I think it was up some.
Oh, it will once all the snow gets melted off and runs down. And then we're supposed to, like I said, they're calling for chances of rain next 5 days. So if they get that bus and over in Kentucky and stuff, in Kentucky, Illinois and stuff like that, Indiana, that river will come up.
Yeah, my river's back up here now. It was low, and I should have went to that fishing spot I know of, but I just didn't do it. I wish I would have. Just one of them. The only way I can fish is the river's got to be really low, and I can go out on this sandbar and cast across to where this deep hole is.
He said it came up, it went way back down.
Did it really? I wonder why.
Probably the locks on down the river south of there. They probably opened them up, just let it keep on draining down, expecting something, I guess.
Yeah. I think I'd like to go down J-Dog and that where he launches the boat at, what is that, the Licking River or whatever. We boated up at about 2 miles or so and then turned around, later and went back to the Ohio. But I think I'd like to go fish that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent little river. I know the banks are 30 feet high and steep on each side.
Yeah, he asked me if I would come up fish with him. I said, yeah, when it warms up.
Yeah, when it ain't, especially like right now, it's damp out too. That's the worst part. But it's 52 degrees here right now. And if I hadn't been sick, I would be fishing. This is Gas City, Indiana, the home of I don't know if it was the first, but some of the first natural gas wells in America. Well, all the street signs you see when I get ready to turn up here, the street signs are like little oil well.
BP station at Taco Bell. You can pull in there, fill your both tanks up.
Yep, there's a gun place right back there too. If you look on the right where County Road, see it's like a little oil well looking tower thing or something. There's a dirt track right over there. They race stock cars about a half mile over there. Friday nights, all summer long.
Chris said, I've been through Gas City before.
Yep, thriving metropolis.
Home of Superman.
Yeah, I used to do a cross country dirt bike race that went all through here, be like 120 miles in a day or so, and they go through all these little woods, and connect them with. You go across these fields and stuff from woods to woods.
Yeah.
Yep, I haven't raced it in years. Got too old for a 100 and some mile race. That's a young man's game. But you can see it's kind of hilly, so it was nice. This area right through here was a pretty good section.
Run and jump, run and jump.
Yeah, yeah. Run through the trees. What they do is they go through the woods and they staple these little paper arrows, like orange background and a black arrow, and that marks the trail. And you just follow it like this creek right here, run along it. There used to be it would run along this creek for 6 or 7 miles.
Yeah. Chris wants to know, Bugman, have you ever went to Red Bud Trail in Michigan?
I've been there a million times. Yep, I go up there and watch the Nationals on July, and then they had what's called the motocross designations. It's kind of like the Olympics of motocross racing, and it's been going on for 90 some years. And it was at Redbud last year, but the first time it was there was 3 years ago. And I never thought it was my biggest bucket list thing on earth was to go to the motocross destinations and watch. And it was at Redbud. I think it was probably 5 years ago. And me and my buddy I grew up racing with got to go. And we was there 3 days, and it literally didn't stop raining, but maybe an hour and a half the whole time. It was either raining or drizzling, and there had to be 50,000 people there from all over the world: Switzerland, England, Brazil. It was. Yeah, I could have died on the way home and been perfectly content. I didn't go this year, which I wish I would have, because it ended up being nice, and the United States won it for the first time in like 11 years.
Yeah, he said, okay, I figured so.
Yep, yep. Been to Redbud, man. I actually rode there before. They have a really cool, fun race, and I think it's October, and it's just for fun. And it's you race like mini bikes, little Honda XR75s and stuff, and it's all for fun. And people dress up and like costumes and stuff when they're riding. It's a lot of fun. That's a good place over there. Now that I think about it, there's a big river flows through there. I need to now. I had never thought of that until just now, but it looks deep because there's piers and stuff on it. I might have to look up on that and see if there ain't some fishing there. But it cost a lot of money to go to the nationals, the motocross nationals there. $75 for your ticket and $150 for 3 nights of camping. Yeah, but it's once a year, and it's pretty cool. It's the best track in the United States according to the racers.
Yeah, he said St. Joseph River in Buchanan.
Is that what that is? Yep. Now I've actually surfed in St. Joe, Michigan before. That's one of my favorite surfing spots. That's a really cool little town too.
He said the same river they have.
Is it really? I don't know why I didn't even think about that. I'm going to have to look that river up and do some research on it because it looks real nice up there. Always going to race and hadn't really thought about it. I need to find somebody around here. Well, I think Hooks and Hammy got my phone number. I think he's going to get with me and take me fishing down on the river some, because me and him have the same kind of flexible work schedule. You know what I mean? I can go in the middle of the week, but no problem.
Yeah.
That's my goal this summer. Is that my bucket list is a 30-pound blue, and I'd like to catch a flathead. Cause like I said, I just started catfishing this year.
He said,
Cause we
St. Joseph
usually are,
flows south to us and back north to Michigan.
huh? All my life, all we've really fished for me and Pop was bluegill, but bluegill and red ear, but big ones. That place in southern Indiana's old coal mine strip pits from back in the 20s. And when they got done, they had to reclaim the land, and fix it up and stock all them lakes and stuff. And there's hundreds of them down there.
Yeah.
And lots of really, really nice big bluegill, Now, compared to down in Georgia or something, they're probably just average. I know I went fishing in Lake Allatoona in Georgia one time. I was a teenager. A friend of mine lived there, and I caught this crappie. And by Indiana standards, it was huge, And this old guy sitting there fishing next to me. Oh, man, throw that back. There's much bigger ones than that in here.
He said, Sullivan, Indiana, the strip pits.
Yep, down for 40 years we've got a cabin twice a year at Shakamak State Park. And this year me and Dad got to go in the spring, but we couldn't go in the fall when his health wouldn't let it. He asked me yesterday if we was going to get a cabin this year. I'm going to go ahead and reserve them, because you literally have to be online at midnight on New Year's Eve if you want to get one for a decent week.
Hey, Squirrely Traveler.
If you wait till that afternoon,
said,
Traveler, I like that.
Have you fished Hovey Lake in South Indiana? Hello, Squirrely Traveler.
I think I have. What part of South Indiana? Is it like east or west South Indiana?
South. I said Hovey Lake
I know.
South Indiana.
I have to look it up. No, I've never really been on the western part of southern Indiana. I went there one time, and I'll tell you what, there's some nice country down there. So I need to take some time, when I can, after Mom and them are gone, I'd like to take some weekends and just drive down there and explore. From, what is that, Louisville Bridge all the way over to Evansville, where Greenwell is, all the way through there is just hilly and woods, and it looks beautiful. Where they just completed the interstate from Indianapolis to Evansville, where it's a straight shot now, because it used to be you'd have to take 70 over to Terre Haute and then take this 2-lane highway all the way south to Evansville. That's the only way to get there. And they put this interstate in from Indianapolis. The interstate I was just on, it goes from northern Indiana all the way to Evansville now.
Huh.
So I'm going to be hitting Greenwell up this spring. That'll work for me. My type of fishing is throwing it out and waiting. I don't want to have to work at it too hard. Yep, Marion National Cemetery right there.
She said it's near Mount Vernon, and Squirrely Traveler said it. I passed it on interstate from Eville to Illinois.
Yep, I've been to Mount Vernon.
Yep, he said, yep, finally it's finished, the interstate to Indy.
Yep, I know they're from Indianapolis to Greenwood or whatever that is. The last section they're still working on, but it's only maybe 15, 20 miles left, I think. But once you get past that section from there all the way down through Bloomington, it's a go. I drove it to down there by Crane Proving Grounds, and it's definitely nice down there. They got the guards out here today. They've been having these guards out here. You'd have to stop and tell them you ain't done no COVID crap or anything. I hate to have to lie to them today. Looks like they closed up shop. Still got the stop sign though. I don't see nobody. Hardest part about the VA is finding a parking place.
Find a parking place.
Yeah. It's always a task.
US 31 has had improvements also.
Yeah. You can drive from Indianapolis all the way to Michigan without stopping now. Because it used to suck going through Kokomo, going up to Michigan from where I lived in Noblesville. Because there was a stoplight every 2 blocks going through Kokomo, it seemed like. And I drove it going up to Redbud the last time, and it's sweet. You can actually go from 465, which is the loop around Indianapolis, all the way to Michigan without stopping.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, which when I surfed would have saved me at least an hour of drive time. Hey guys, I'll be back here in a little bit. I'm going to shut this down and I'll look for Danny's live when he goes. I sure appreciate y'all having me out today.
Yep. Y'all have a good morning.
And everybody who came in.
All right. I'll see you later, buddy.
Go ahead, brother. I'll see you guys. All right, man. I appreciate it. On the interstate from Illinois. You live around here, Tyler? I know that. Chat on this while I was having. Hey, Traveler, you got the gig. I know you was around this area. Get my email off my channel and send me an email. And we're going to end it. Thank you all. Have a